Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn and David Dollar.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Jenn.
Thanksgiving Day.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast.
See, I sang after you because you yelled.
Okay, well, it's still, you
can.
can't. Sarah, did you hear that? Did you hear her sing at all? Because I didn't. I heard asked. I don't know. I feel like you, Jenn, you just need to let loose. You just need to let loose.
Yeah,
and let
okay.
Let's try it again. Happy Thanksgiving, Jenn. Happy Thanksgiving. What? Main Street Electrical Podcast. Still nothing. We'll work on that. I'm just going to have a soundbite of you singing that and just insert it every episode. So the Sarah I referred to is our good friend Sarah Goes Bananas from Purple Banana Travel. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, David.
And happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend.
It's so good to be here with you.
Well, glad you're back with us. Of course, this is our Thanksgiving episode. We decided to do something fun here. We're not going to worry about news and stuff, and we'll talk about the trip that Jenn and I took with the other agents from Upon a Star Travel. We'll talk about that next week because we have a lot to talk about with Jollywood, and we're going to talk about the Wild Africa Trek. And it rained on us during the Epcot fireworks cruise, and that's a story all in itself. So we'll talk about that. That's all next week. We'll get to some stuff, but today, for fun, we are going to determine the best thing in Magic Kingdom. The very best thing in Magic Kingdom.
I don't know how this is possible. I don't know how this is possible.
Before we do that, Jenn, I have to ask you, how did you Disney this week?
Am I allowed to say that I was in Disney at the beginning of this week? Is that even permitted at this point?
Actually, no. You have to come up with something else. Or be specific. Something other than that. You can't just
all
say,
right.
I was at
How
Disney.
about this? I decorated my Disney Christmas tree also this week. I am missing about a third of the ornaments, which are somewhere in the storage unit. I will locate them. So I should say I 2/3 decorated it.
Nice. Sarah, how did you Disney this week?
Jenn literally just stole my answer.
No.
You decorated her tree as well.
And I was like, oh, this is a good answer. I'm ready. Yeah, we put up our Christmas tree and it's really fun to look at those ornaments that we've collected over the years and think about some of them are handmade, some of them we bought at Disney World. And it's just fun. Those little touch points that take you back to your vacation memories.
Yeah.
Now, for both of you, because you're household women and your housewives and your wives and everything like that, decorating the tree probably more important to you than maybe the husbands, and I get that. Do you have more ornaments than you can put on a tree, or do you just get enough trees to help put all the ornaments out?
We've moved. Well, it's been about 18 months since we moved, and so I'm still kind of figuring out. Like last year was the chaotic year where we just got one tree up and that was enough. And this year I'm trying to figure out, in our old house when we lived in Chicago, we had 3 trees and they all had very distinctive personalities.
Nice.
And so each of those trees then has a bin, everything is organized. I'm dying to have more than one tree in this house that we live in. Yeah. But it hasn't happened yet.
Nice. Jenn, what do you do? I know you have more than one tree. I know that, but do you have enough trees for your ornaments, or do you just have ornaments left over going, I can't put more than 7 trees in our house?
At this point, that's why. So I did a specific Disney tree this year. I have a tree where I handmade all of the ornaments, but I need to buy a new tree for that one. So I will have leftover ornaments that don't make it onto a tree. But I think this year we are, and this is our new house. 1, 2. So we have our porch tree, our main tree, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 currently.
Wow.
Jenn wins.
Trees.
Jenn always wins.
They are all themed. They are all themed.
Of course they are. My Grand Floridian tree, and here's my Polynesian tree, my contemporary tree. I have a few weeds over here. I call them my all-star weeds. So yeah.
That doesn't even merit a tree.
Have you ever seen the tree at Yacht Club with the little sailboats on it?
Yes, and I love
it. It's my favorite one at Disney World.
Yes. And the new lighthouse they have put up, which is awesome.
So cool.
So and for me, I Disneyed by going to Disney last week, which was amazing. With our trees though, we have one big tree that we have we've used for a couple of years, and the lights are on out of half of it. It's a pre-lit tree, and in order to take the lights out of it, I have to go and snip the entire. It's just too much stuff, and so we've gone back and forth about buying a new tree. So we're going to use this one more year and try to cover up the spots with lights. But and Sarah, I don't know, you probably don't know this, but my family's going away for 8 days on a Disney World trip. I went to Disney World last week, and my wife was like, "Yeah, you just went. You're going to stay here this time, and me and the kid and my mom will go." So they're going. So I have the house to myself for 8 days, and it is my job to decorate the house. And I'm thinking, I'm going to put the tree up, obviously. I'm thinking about putting a second tree somewhere in our house with more ornaments. But my beloved wife, my beloved Stephanie, is a Hallmark aficionado, and she has collections going. She has ornaments that date back, I mean, many, many, many years, but she'll have collections that started in 2007 that we got to keep it up. This is the 17th in the series. There's going to be 20. So, it's she's trying to get together a rotation of like, okay, these 4 bins will be this year, and then those will go into storage, and then next year these 4 bins, and then those 3. And I've already told her, I'm like, honey, when you're gone and you want me to decorate, I'm grabbing some bins. There is no take that one and take this one and look into this one. No, I'm grabbing the bins. The ornaments I want on the tree are going to be going on the tree. No precious moments, because I think precious memories or moments, whatever they're called, I think they're terrible. None of those go on the tree. But I'm like, I will take care of it. If you don't want me to do it, then you're welcome to handle it just like you want to. And she will let me decorate. She will let me do it because she doesn't want to have to deal with it. So that's what we're doing. But next week, Christmas explodes all over the house. That's the goal. That's the goal. So let's get to our little mini tournament here. Now, this is how I've divided this up. I have come up with 32 possibilities of what might be considered the best thing about the Magic Kingdom. Now, these are experiences, these are food, these are rides, attractions, e-ticket and A-ticket rides and everything else, classics and new things. Now, here's some of the things that did not make the list. So we will not be talking about these things in case you're wondering. The Astral Orbiters, I assume, would not be the best thing in the Magic Kingdom. I guessed. The Keys to the Kingdom tour, it's wonderful, but I feel like not enough people have done it.
Yeah, fair.
Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, I took that one out. I'm like, I like it, but Aladdin's Magic Carpet is kind of just in the way. Belle's Enchanted Tales.
You know what? You just made Marcy Loves Me. You just said that Aladdin's is in the way. And I'm just going to point that out. I'm just going to point that out, David.
What I said was Aladdin's Magic Carpet. I love it, but Jenn says it's in the way.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I love it, but Jenn says it's in the way.
Okay.
Editing. The Main Street windows. I thought about that as an exclusive, but the more I piled on of stuff, I was the Emporium, which I walk through there. It's great
every time.
It's a big shop, and of course, Winnie the Pooh, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I took those out. Okay. So here's where we're going to start. We're going to start with the big rides. These are the ones that people love. These are the classics and some of the new ones. Okay. And so here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to call it the match, and we will each vote on which one we think wins.
All right.
Of course, we have 3 majority rules. So the first matchup, the best thing in Magic Kingdom, Tron versus Space Mountain. The Tron Light Cycle Run versus Space Mountain. You have a classic attraction and you have a brand new attraction, which, by the way, for the purposes of this tournament, I probably would vote Tron because Tron is a multi-experience for me. I could do it 3 or 4 times in a row. Space Mountain, 1, and I'm done. It's classic. People love it. If people are yelling at me now listening to the radio or the podcast, but I'm like, for me, I'm not going to say Space Mountain's the best thing. I might say that Tron is the best thing, depending on the conversation. But that's my vote. Jenn, what are your thoughts on Tron versus Space Mountain?
I mean, I love Space Mountain, but I don't love it as much in Disney World as Disneyland. And as much as I love it, I'm going to have to give the edge to Tron on this one.
Ooh, interesting.
I know.
Sarah, your thoughts?
It is unanimous. Tron is the winner.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Jenn, I'm with you. If we were talking Disneyland, then that becomes easy. That's Space Mountain at Disneyland is the winner.
Straight up. But, I mean, like all of the things.
We're hanging out. Yeah. If we're hanging out at Walt Disney World, I don't love Space Mountain at Walt Disney World at all.
No. Yeah.
So Tron for me. That's my pick.
Yep.
Yeah. Same.
All right. So Tron moves on. This is the one, and I've already said this. I think Jen's going to be upset at me for some of these. And this is one Jenn I think will be upset. What's the best thing about Magic Kingdom? Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion?
Well, this is just not even fair.
Sarah, I'm going to let you kind of think about this first and decide which one you think is
actually not hard for me.
Oh, no. There we go. Okay.
Right.
For me, Pirates hands down is the winner.
Oh, interesting.
I don't love Haunted Mansion. I've come to appreciate the artistry and some of the special effects that are used in the Haunted Mansion. There's a whole lot of really simple, I'm going to call it technology, but very simple effects that were kind of cutting edge when that ride was developed. I can appreciate those things. But Haunted Mansion with me. I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
You know what? I would say that same thing, except flip it. I love Haunted Mansion. I like Pirates. I would do Pirates once, maybe twice, if depending who I'm with. I could do Haunted Mansion multiple times. And Haunted is one of those things that if I don't do it when I'm like at the parks, I get irritated. I'm like, I missed Haunted Mansion. Yeah, I miss Pirates too. That's fine. But I miss Haunted Mansion. So I'm going to say Haunted Mansion, which puts it on you, Jen.
No
which
pressure.
One's better?
No pressure.
Pirates or Haunted Mansion?
I do love both. But again, this conversation changes depending on which coast I'm in. Because in Disneyland, 1,000%, I'm actually giving it to Pirates.
But it's Disney World, Magic Kingdom.
World. And on any given day, I might change my mind on this, but I'm going to give the edge to Mansion because I love those ballroom dancing ghosts and it makes me.
Yes. Okay. So I'm typing it up. Jen hates Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
So that's the official term, official word. Okay, we got it. We got it here. All right, here we go. All right. So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train versus the Prince Charming Regal Carousel.
This one's easy.
Kind of an easy one. Of course, I think I would go Mine Train, but I felt like the Carousel had to be represented because it is such a classic with the age of the Carousel.
I'm voting for the Carousel.
I'm voting for the Carousel too.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh,
that's a sleeper choice. This is a family tradition for us. When we are in Magic Kingdom, we end every night in the parks on the carousel. I can even tell you what number of horse my kids are going to want to go sit on.
I love it.
That is a spot for us.
Wow.
If I'm not on horse number 36, it's not right.
Every time I do one of these kind of tournaments, I never know where it's going to go. And that got me off. That caught me off guard. Wow.
Yeah. I love the carousel. It is such an original. Not only is it a classic, it's just so whimsical. I love the carousel.
And to know how the carousel is connected to the origin story of the Disney parks feels special.
It does.
Spin around and get that glimpse of the castle in the evening lights feels like, makes my heart flutter right now.
Yep. Every time. I will ride it every time if I can. If the line gets crazy, I'll just come back later on tonight when it's
right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, Regal Carousel moves on to the next round. All right. So Jen, you will get this one here, I think.
Okay.
The People Mover, the Wee Wee People Mover against Small World. This is
not a fair matchup. This is an unfair matchup. Okay. Here's going to be my answer on this one.
Yes.
Again, this is a coast to coast thing. Again, for me, I will skip Small World in Magic Kingdom, although I have so many childhood memories. It kills me to say this, but I will not skip the People Mover. I love the People Mover so much. But I mean, if Small World wins, I'm not mad, honestly.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I love the People Mover. I actually didn't get to do it this time around. And I'm a little irritated by that because I'm like, why didn't I get to do the People Mover? I was there for 5 flipping days. What the heck happened?
What were you doing?
Because I'm with you people, and you people are doing other stuff, and so I'm following you around, so I'll have company. But yeah, I didn't do the People Mover, but Small World again, one and done every trip. Yeah, I did Small World. I'm good. People Mover. Let's do the People Mover again for the 4th time today. Okay, let's do it. So, Sarah, you're nodding your head.
I'm with you guys. People Mover all the way, and you haven't lived until you've done 3 or 4 laps on the People Mover in one go.
When you're just like
9 minutes around, and you just give the cast member the signal and they'll let you stay on if you ask nicely.
Yeah,
if it's not too busy.
I love it.
Right. Yeah. If it's crazy, they're not going to let you.
And here's a fun fact. Did you know that the only hidden Mickey that I know of in Magic Kingdom is on the People Mover?
But in Magic Kingdom?
That I'm aware of. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct us if there's another one that I don't know of. But when you're going through the dark section and the lady's getting her hair done, on her belt is a little Mickey. And I think, as far as I know, that's the only hidden Mickey in the park.
Oh, there are about 40.
Okay.
We'll have to have that discussion. There are a lot of hidden Mickeys.
Are there? All right, then I need to do some research then.
On that ride, that's the only one on that ride I know.
Yeah, on that ride, that's the only one I know of.
Okay.
But yeah, one of my favorites is Haunted Mansion. The Grim Reaper holding up the little cloth or whatever. And if you look just bright, there's a little hidden Mickey there. And there
we'll
used to be
a whole conversation about this.
We'll have to have a whole conversation on that. Yes, I can tell you all about the hidden Mickeys. I have made it a point. So there was actually one day I took a trip.
That's probably a future episode.
That could be a future episode. Our favorite hidden Mickey.
Yes, I would love that. We need to get Steve. What's his name? Barrett, I think his name is.
Steve
that does
Barrett.
the hidden Mickey books. Jen, make the phone calls. You can do it. I believe in you.
Sure.
So People Mover moves on to our next round. So we have Under the Sea, The Adventures of the Little Mermaid, against the Barnstormer. Now, for me, this is somewhat sentimental because the Barnstormer, of course, was my son's first roller coaster. I like Mermaid. It's fine. The queue is like 17 miles long. So I feel like if the wait time says 10 minutes, that entire 10 minutes is nothing but queue. And you walk right on the ride. I'm going to say Barnstormer. I don't know that either one of these will win this tournament at all. I can't imagine any of us saying the best thing about Magic Kingdom is Barnstormer, but for this purposes, I'm going to say Barnstormer. Sarah.
No contest. I cannot stand the Barnstormer. It's so short, and even for my kids, when it was their first ride, they were like, "This is boring," and they're not wrong.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
Jenn?
I mean, I got to give this to Mermaid. That just yes. Right, the under the sea part alone, like, does it.
Totally. When you turn around and go backwards and the bubbles are going up and you're going under the water.
That is fun.
That's a really fun moment.
Fun. It's cute.
All right. So Mermaid, typing in Jenn does not like special needs children. Got it. Okay. Perfect. All right. So we move forward.
Sarah, do you see what I'm up with here?
Oh, I know. All
right. So that's the first part of our little bracket. Let's get to our second part. And these are the classics. Yes, there were some classics in that one too, but these are kind of some big classics here. And this is present day. This is not what it used to be. This is not what it's going to be. This is right now. Country Bear Jamboree versus Peter Pan's Flight. Jenn, which one's better?
I don't even know how to answer this, honestly. You know what? See, I'm gonna get hate mail either way. You know what? I'm giving it to the Country Bears. I'm giving it to the Country Bears. You know why? Because you're inside in the air conditioning for a while. I'm still gonna laugh. Peter Pan, you're waiting in line for like 3 hours, and then you're on the ride for about 90 seconds. Not even.
Someone please explain to me why that line is always over 60 minutes. Why?
I never understood.
I don't understand.
Never understood.
And no shade on the ride.
No.
Ride.
That's the thing. When you talk about it, people think you're hating on the ride. I'm not. It's a fun ride. It's great. It's classic. But I'm like,
it's okay.
Why is this ride so long? So definitely Country Bears all the way. I love the Country
100%.
Bears.
We're unanimous on that.
Okay. Yes.
I would love to see Country Bears win the whole tournament here today.
That would be great. Just kind of awesome.
Yes. I have a whole thoughts on Country Bears, but you know what? That's for another episode, another podcast. We'll talk about that later. Maybe in the after show or the Patreon show where no holds barred. So
do you know how that ride was, or the attraction was developed? Is that the story you're thinking of?
Oh, no, I was just thinking about thoughts on why them changing the Country Bear Jamboree.
So Walt served on the planning committee for the Winter Olympics, like, I don't know, in 60 something, and fell in love with downhill skiing and actually bought property in California to develop a ski lodge. And he wanted an attraction for that property. And that is what Country Bear Jamboree was developed for. The whole project got scrapped. Awesome. It never happened. And it was moved to the Florida project, but it was actually meant for a ski lodge, which makes sense, right?
That more makes sense for a ski lodge, but
that's great.
Big
I love it.
The ski lodge.
I love it. Blood on the ski slope. All right. So Sarah, the Jungle Cruise versus the Enchanted Tiki Room, an Adventureland battle, one-on-one. Not the Jingle Cruise, but the Jungle Cruise itself and the Enchanted Tiki Room.
I have fond childhood memories of watching the Lawrence Welk show with my grandparents. And I get Lawrence Welk vibes when I go into the Enchanted Tiki Room and watch that show. So for me, like, it does something. It connects to my childhood in a way that makes me love that attraction. I don't love Jungle Cruise or Jingle Cruise at Christmas time. So I'm going to give this to Enchanted Tiki Room.
Sarah coming in hot with her opinions. That's pretty fun. I don't love Haunted Mansion. I don't love Jungle Cruise. I Astro Orbiter all day long. I love that queue. I love both of these attractions. Again, both of these are one times for me because the Jungle Cruise line, like Peter Pan, I don't know why the line is suddenly
so long.
I felt like this happened in the last 5 to 6 years. Suddenly people are like Jungle Cruise and everybody wants to go. 10 years ago, I felt like this was a walk-on all the time. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I would say Jungle Cruise only because I love the dad jokes. I love all the jokes. I love it when they change things up. I feel as if I were working at Disney World, this might be an attraction I probably could run versus the Tiki Room, not as much. I'm going to say Jungle Cruise, and I throw it to the hands of Jenn.
No pressure again, but I am actually going to have to agree with Sarah on this one. The Tiki Room, and I'm so glad they got rid of the under new management debacle that was
by the quote unquote fire that happened,
Yeah, there's
the accidental fire.
The accidental fire. Sure. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But so for me, it was hearing the story of like Walt with, and they made the birds breathe. Like, and I went back in after that and was like, oh my gosh, they do breathe. And I don't know. It's classic.
That's the incredible attention to detail on a lot of these things. Hall of Presidents also not in our tournament here, but when you watch the Hall of Presidents, if you go back, the president's talking, but you look around and the others are blinking. Like, their heads are kind of nodding a little bit, like they're people, like they're actually moving, not just stock still.
They're like interacting a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fascinating how that. I mean, the work that goes into that. Still think the Muppets should do Hall of Presidents, but that's another story.
That would
another story for another
awesome.
day. So, Dumbo versus the Mad Hatter Tea Party. The Mad Tea Party, the teacups versus the spinner. Jenn, classic rides, classic attractions.
They are classic rides. I tell you what, though, I have childhood memories of Dumbo and like riding that with my mom. So that's going to be the winner for me. My dad would go on rides, but he could not do spinny rides. So we didn't do the teacups all that often unless my sister and I wanted to go. And then she would just try to, kill me. So,
right. Dumbo. Sarah?
Yeah, it's Dumbo for me. I think the queue in Magic Kingdom where your kids can go play in that play space, that hands down wins it for me, because your kids can get the wiggles out, and even my older kids for some reason just love that play space. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and it's for everybody, because I have crawled up through there as a grown man. I've gone through that, and I've been told it's for kids of all ages. Just watch out for the small ones when you go through there. And it's kind of a workout. There are some ropes, like rope ladders in there that are kind of crazy. But yeah, I also agree with Dumbo. I like the teacups. I like the Mad Hatter Tea Party. But Dumbo, it is just classic. Just classic. So all right, final one in this little set of the bracket: the Main Street train station, or the train station altogether.
Okay.
Versus the Carousel of Progress. What is the best thing about the Magic Kingdom? Sarah, your thoughts?
I actually love Carousel of Progress. Hardcore. So I'm choosing that one.
As do I. I'm a big fan, but I'm going to let Jenn kind of talk this out first, because I don't want to give her an out of just yes, it's already decided. She has to decide. So
I love them both so much. I love both of these so much. You know what? I'm going to give this to the train, and here's the reason why. Because Walt was such a train guy. And that was like the whole thing, and it's going to be surrounded by a train. And so because that is quintessential Walt, I'm giving it, that's the only way I can justify a decision of this magnitude, because Carousel is a must do and train is a must do every time. So, but I'm going to give it to the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Carousel of Progress, only because
I can't be mad because I love it.
No, I love it so much too. And it's one of those, again, that I want to do every time I go. I love just the dialogue. I love just the scenery and everything. And I like the fact that it's not been updated in forever. And I don't know that it should be. I don't know that it ever should be updated.
What do you mean the train well, the train loop has been, but the train station, you're right.
Right. I mean, just I kind of
there's a great hidden Mickey in that window, actually.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so shocked.
Sometimes it goes away. Like it's not always there, but it's a great one. I have a picture of it. It's cute.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Carousel of Progress. And so Carousel of Progress. Sarah, you said Carousel, didn't you?
I did say Carousel.
Okay, perfect. So that moves forward. Okay, so give me just a second here. I'm looking to make sure they got everything lined up here correctly on my little tournament bracket here. Okay, so we got those two.
Your paint star just sloshed paint all over my rump. Rumpus. Room.
All over the rum.
And you can see Grandma in Carousel of Progress and in Haunted Mansion. There's a fun connection there.
That is, and then John is also the little lute player in Epcot Spaceship Earth.
I don't think I knew that, actually. Very cool. All right, so now we're moving over to our kind of our icons of the park, kind of our symbols of the park, as you would say, not necessarily rides and stuff, but just great things about the park. So, Jenn, best thing about Magic Kingdom: Happily Ever After fireworks show or Cinderella Castle?
Oh, Cinderella Castle.
Cinderella Castle.
Yeah, you couldn't even have Happily Ever After without the castle.
Correct.
Duh.
Yeah, I'm going to say that too. Cinderella Castle. I'm going to go with that as well. there is a case to be made for Happily Ever After because it is an incredible show. And I kind of wonder if Wishes had been here instead, would we have a longer discussion? But Cinderella Castle, we'll go with Cinderella Castle. All right, Sarah, Main Street USA, and that's just Main Street USA,
like the entirety,
or the Festival of Fantasy Parade in all of its increments, including the steampunk dragon and everything.
Oh, this is a harder one for me. Some of these have been very easy. I've been very decisive so far, but now I love people watching on Main Street. Finding a spot on a bench with a bucket of popcorn is pretty great. Oh, but I do love the parade too. All right, I'm going to give it to Main Street because that's a different experience every time you go and feels fresh. Depends on who else is in the park and what you see. And all right, so points for Main Street for me.
I dig it. Jenn.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go next, but I will. I'm actually going to give it to Main Street because, again, I actually went to Marceline, Missouri to see Main Street, the original inspo for Main Street USA.
Nice.
So, yeah. Main Street.
I will also say Main Street USA. Very nice. Okay. So our got two more matches in this little kind of icons of the park kind of thing. The Halloween party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, versus Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. What is the best thing about Magic Kingdom? Jenn.
Tough one, actually. Very that I'm gonna give it to the Christmas party just because I prefer Christmas. So that's really my only justification.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Christmas party as well. Sarah may come back with the Halloween party and may sway me for some reason, but I'm gonna go with the Christmas party as well.
I'm actually going to be the lone dissenter and vote Halloween, which is shocking to me because I love Christmas and I do not love Halloween. But there's something very special about trick-or-treating and wearing costumes inside the park that feels like that only happens at a Halloween party, and it is so much fun.
Yeah.
They've made me into a Halloween lover, and that's saying something.
That's
I like
fair.
it.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I do love the Christmas party though, and I just I was a fan. I'm a fan. So, Chris, I mean, I love the Halloween party too, but I feel like if I were given a choice in tickets, like, hey, you get to go to one of these, I'm probably going to go the Christmas party every time, only because I just enjoy it so much. And so, Christmas party it is. Christmas party it is. All right. So this one might be a little bit easier, but again, I have to go icons of the park here because I feel like it needs to be said, even if it's just for us to just insult it and say no way. And that, of course, is Dole Whip, which is a classic, versus the turkey leg, which I personally think is disgusting, but people walk around with it. People hold it. I don't know how people walk around with that big stick of meat in their hands and just gnaw off it the entire time. But yes, I'm going to say Dole Whip. And I feel like this is...
I think we're all voting Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
Well, I don't know, Sarah. You've been surprising so far. You might be like, I love the turkey legs. In the hot July sun, I love holding on to them.
Oh, gosh. And then
anything,
they're feeding the birds. They feed the birds. I'm like, is this like cannibalism for birds? Like, is that no.
Yeah,
no.
It's kind of gross.
Moving on.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, keep going.
So our last part of this first round here, this is gonna be the food, where the food comes in, and we'll do a little restaurant kind of up and down here. Be Our Guest restaurant taking on Liberty Tree Tavern. Now, of course, one is much newer, one is much older, one has much more has become kind of a legend in the parks as it is. But Jenn, your thoughts?
Oh gosh, very tough actually for me. The theming is actually spot on in both. It's just polar opposites in terms of theme.
Right.
Gosh. I don't know. There's not really a wrong answer, I don't think. You know what? I'm giving it to Liberty Tree because we ate there on our honeymoon. Although I love Beauty and the Beast so dang much, but there is something about just Thanksgiving dinner and some comfort food.
I love Liberty Tree. Food. I do, but the last time we were there, I kind of had a bad experience. Long story, but I kind of had a bad experience. And so I do like Be Our Guest. I love walking to that ballroom. I love the Beast bedroom, and I love the rose and just the theming and the decor and how gorgeous it is in there. I feel as if they did something with Liberty Tree Tavern now, then it might be more akin to that. But, it's an older restaurant. Plus, they used to have characters. Now they don't. So I'm going to go with Be Our Guest restaurant. That's my pick. And we'll turn it over to Sarah to decide who wins this one.
Yeah, I'm giving this to Be Our Guest because I feel like the opportunity to eat inside a castle is rare. There's two options inside Magic Kingdom. So Be Our Guest is a very special experience, especially in the main ballroom, to watch the snow coming down outside that window. That's a moment.
Nice. All right, so we are not going to say Cinderella's Royal Table because we included Cinderella's Castle. That's kind of all encompassing in there.
Sure.
But we are going to go to Tony's Town Square, taking on Crystal Palace. Now, these are both restaurants I've been to in the last couple of years. I'm a fan of Crystal Palace. I like the poo aspect of it. I also like, which sounds out of context, sounds terrible, but I do
really
love the fact that you can meet Piglet there, and you can't meet Piglet really anywhere. Sometimes he shows up at Epcot with poo in Christopher Robin's bedroom, but otherwise, Piglet, that's it. Piglet's there. And I love that. I love the buffet. I love the food. Tony's, I think, has gotten, I don't want to say a bad rap because I think some of it's earned, but it is like, it's a great spot on Main Street if you get a good seat to see the parade. But if you're in the back of the restaurant, it doesn't matter. Also, I'm thinking July, spaghetti pasta on a hot summer day. That just sounds great to go with that turkey leg that Sarah's walking around with. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to say Crystal Palace. Sarah.
I'm actually giving this to Tony's. We were there in July. And we were lucky enough to we weren't out on the patio, but we were just like the first table inside and had an amazing view as some character cavalcades came by down Main Street. And obviously you can't guarantee that experience every time, but that was pretty special. And I will say the food, I'd heard about the reputation that food had, but everyone in my family had a really good meal and we were very satisfied. So
good.
I thought it was great.
Good. I feel like maybe they've improved it over the years too, because again, it did have a bad rap for a while, but maybe they've just gotten better about it. I don't know, but very cool. Jenn, you're the decider.
I should maybe give it another chance then. I'm from Pittsburgh and we have excellent Italian food. Because half of the population up here has a grandma from Italy who makes a special sauce or other gravy, depending on which area of Italy they're from. So I am an Italian snob when it comes to food. And last time I was there, I was like, this is like Olive Garden. Sorry if you love Olive.
But when you're there, your family. So there's the difference.
Yeah. So I'm going with Crystal Palace because last time I was there, I was like, this isn't quite even, but based on what Sarah just said, I'm going to give it another shot because she said that everybody liked it. So we're going to give it a shot.
Very cool. All right. So that moves on to the next round as well. So we got our final two matches here. This is more of a snack oriented and counter service oriented. And that, of course, is Casey's Corner, which I ate this past weekend, taking on Columbia Harper House, which I also snacked on this past weekend. Of course, Columbia Harper House gets a little bit of shrimp, some seafood. I'm a big fan of corn dog nuggets, which is why I love Casey's. I love the corn dog nugs, by the way. So for me personally, I'm going to say Casey's, even though I like Columbia Harper House. I like the shrimp. However, the only bad thing about Columbia is if you want to go to the second floor with a stroller or a wheelchair, it's a whole thing because you got to go backstage to get an elevator to go up and come back, and it's just all things. So I'm going to say Casey's. Jenn, what is your thought?
Columbia Harper House. Absolutely. Love it. Always have.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get outvoted on this one because, corn dog nuggets. I'm a fan. But Sarah.
I'm going to surprise you, David. I'm ordering my corn dog nuggets and a mint julep lemonade, and I'm going to go hubgrass sit and enjoy that meal a whole lot.
There we go. That's the way it should be, really. Let's be honest. That's the way it should be. Very nice. So, all right. So our final matchup here, we've got the Main Street Confectionery. Okay. Main Street Confectionery taking on the Nutella waffles out of Sleepy Hollow. And Nutella waffles are something people are just really beginning to just I'm seeing them more and more. My wife loves Nutella waffles. But Main Street Confectionery, we always stop at the end of every trip. We get our candied apples and we get our fudge and we get our snacks and stuff. And they have the popcorn bar now at the confectionery. So Jenn, what's the best thing between the two of these?
I mean, there's no wrong answer. You win either way with either of these treats. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner. But I'm sticking with my Nutella waffle. Because yes, Nutella's, waffles, and fruit. We're in it to win it. Amazing.
See, I'm going to say Main Street Confectionery only because I love the popcorn bar they have in the back and just the wide variety of stuff, the cotton candy, the popcorn. And I do wish, however, they had the Rice Krispie treats. They used to have these Rice Krispie balls with the chocolate sauce on
those.
it.
I do like those.
Making them. Jen, call the Bob. Get that worked out. Fix that. Get that fixed. So Sarah, 1-1 for each. So now you get to decide.
Anytime I can convince myself that I'm eating something healthy-ish at Disney is a huge win. So I'm with Jen on this one. We're going to go get a Nutella waffle.
It's got fruit on it.
Waffle.
It's basic. I mean, it's basically health food.
It's basically a fruit salad.
Basically.
It's basically a fruit salad. So I get that. I understand it. So, all right. So now we go back to the top of our little bracket here. We're going to kind of determine which ones are going to advance to, I guess, our final 8. And we'll start with Tron, Light Cycle Run, taking on the Haunted Mansion. Now, Sarah had strong feelings about the Haunted Mansion earlier, and she loves Tron as well. So I'm going to let her talk about this one first. Does the classic of the Haunted Mansion overtake Tron, the newness of Tron, or does Tron still get that factor?
I think Tron still gets it for me.
There you go. I'm going to go Haunted Mansion, I think, just for the classicness of it all. Tron is great. I love Tron. I haven't done it at night, though, so I feel like that's a factor for me, too. I just have yet to do it at night, but I'm going to say Haunted Mansion. Jen, what's the best thing about Magic Kingdom?
This is apples and oranges, though, because like it is a thrill ride versus like a dark ride.
Right.
I will say Tron at night is amazing. Like that is the best time at all to ride Tron. Wait. That is the best time. Wait. All right. I cannot get rid of Mansion. I can't get rid of Mansion. It has been there since I was a child. So we have to keep Mansion in this race. That's why.
Haunted Mansion.
Do not make me break another tie, David dollar.
You're welcome. Well, I'll let you start this one then. The Regal Carousel versus the People Mover. What's the best thing about the Magic Kingdom, Jen? Classic versus classic.
I'm glad you're going first, Jen.
I know exactly how I'm going to vote. So
how do I get rid of one of these two amazing attractions?
You do. I mean, how do you tell the world that you hate one of these? That's all I can. That's what I'm asking.
Again, we're all winners here. We're all winners here.
Yes. Yes, that's it. That's it. We're all winners.
You know what? Here's going to be my rationale. People Mover is longer. I can spend longer on People Mover. So I'm going to choose People Mover because I can make it last longer. People Mover.
Sarah.
I'm going to go with the Carousel because it's just so special, especially riding at night.
I'm so glad that you're making David break this tie.
For me, it's no problem. I'm going to say People Mover. I love the Carousel. I think it's fun. Campbell loves it. My son loves it. My family loves it. But the People Mover is there's just something. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite attractions of all of it. And so I'm going to say People Mover just because it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. So People Mover it is. Now that sets us up to the Under the Sea with the Little Mermaid taking on Country Bear Jamboree. Sarah, which one of these is better? Which one of these is the best?
Easy. Country Bears. No contest.
I would go with Country Bear. Out of these two, I definitely would go with Country Bears. So easy. Country Bear Jamboree. Moving on.
Agreed there.
All right. So the next one is Enchanted Tiki Room taking on Dumbo. I was surprised the Tiki Room got past Jungle Cruise. For me, I'm going to say Tiki Room only because I know it was a classic that Walt loved. I know he loved Dumbo too, but I know that he really was involved with Tiki Room, and I love just the animatronics. I love the atmosphere. I love just everything I didn't say about it when it was taking on the Jungle Cruise. I'll say about it now about just how cool it is. It's a cool looking ride, an attraction. So I'm going to say the Tiki Room. Jen?
You know what? Just to give some competition, because I can go either way, I'm going to give Dumbo because classic and I have good memories.
Very good. Okay. Sarah.
I'm making my Sarah childhood nostalgia pulls me in one solid direction, and that's Dumbo for me.
Dumbo. All right. So Dumbo it is over the Tiki Room. Okay. So next matchup, the Carousel of Progress. And these are two classics from almost like two different worlds here, but Carousel of Progress against Cinderella Castle. Jen, which one's better? Which one is better in Magic Kingdom?
I don't like, again, this is apples and oranges. Like it's two different things. All right. But I feel like you have to have the castle. You have to have the castle. That's iconic.
It wouldn't be Disney without a castle. Like this is the thing that people come and cry about when they turn the corner from Town Square. Of course it's the castle.
It's got
agreed. I agree completely. All right, so that puts us up with Main Street USA as maybe the best thing about Magic Kingdom versus Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party about the best thing at Magic Kingdom. This is tough because I love the Christmas party. I love the party itself. I love the atmosphere and the decor. And yes, on Main Street at the Christmas party because it snows, right?
Yeah.
But Main Street, of course, is all year round, and that's something you get to experience all year round. Versus Christmas party, extra ticketed, the end of the year, that kind of thing. I'm going to say Main Street because it's just so much. It's just cool. There's so many little tidbits and things and trivia and the windows and everything about Main Street. I'm going to say Main Street USA. Jen?
I gotta go just straight up Main Street because again, year round classic. I mean, yeah.
Same. It's there all the time. You just can't have a Disney World without Main Street.
Correct.
Okay. So now we go with Be Our Guest Restaurant against Tony's Town Square. Which one is better? Sarah.
I'm going to give this to Be Our Guest. I still think that eating inside a castle is a really special experience. I think the food is probably has an edge. The theming certainly has an edge. We're going to Be Our Guest.
I like it. I also am going to say Be Our Guest. So Jenn, I don't know if you want to fight for Tony's or
no, we're good. I'm just going to go ahead and agree with Be Our Guest. That's the correct answer.
All right. So somewhere along the way, and
Be Our Guest had a quick service option for breakfast and lunch. I wish they would bring that back.
I wish they would. I miss that so much. That turkey sandwich
they haven't brought
amazing.
Back the breakfast yet. So I get the lunch because they probably want to. The money's there, obviously, because you can do lunch. But I really wish they had the breakfast.
Breakfast was really good.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Really it was easy, and so and maybe 2024 again. Jenn, call Josh after we're done and get on that and kind of get taken care of. So
on it.
All right. So somewhere along the way, we had a misstep, and somehow or another, based on the tournament here, maybe had something listed twice. I don't know what happened. I'll go back and listen to it and be like, oh, that's what happened. But we have 3 here that we're gonna have to determine the winner of these 3 to make sure that we're evened out for our last little bit here. Okay. And so that is which one's better between Dole Whip, the Nutella waffles, or Casey's Corner? Jenn.
I guess I'm gonna go with Dole Whip because it's such an iconic treat. It was probably more iconic than the Nutella waffle, although between the two, I would personally probably go eat the Nutella waffle, but I'm gonna give this to Dole Whip.
Sarah?
Because I love to hub grass and chill, I'm going to stick with Casey's Corner because that's where you've got to eat your Casey's order. Looking at the castle.
I'm gonna go with Casey Corners as well, only because I love the nuggets. I love the symbolism of it, like with Casey at the bat on the corner there, Casey's Corners. Of course, you can also get hot dogs there,
and if you time it right, you get a piano concert out there.
Yes.
Like the pianist.
Yep.
Some of the cast members as they greet people are like, calling like it's a baseball game. There's a lot of heart in that restaurant.
Yes, and it's good food too. Well, I can't say it's good food; it's tasty food. That's perfect for an afternoon. Food. So yes, theme park food. So all right, we've got 8 left here to determine the best thing in the Magic Kingdom, and that's going to be with the Haunted Mansion versus the People Mover. And Sarah, I'm gonna let you kick this off because I'm not sure that either one of these would be one that you would advance. You would have advanced to begin with, but Haunted Mansion versus the People Mover.
I'm going to give it to the People Mover because I just don't love Haunted Mansion.
Jenn.
You know what? Because I'm going to make David break the tie. I'm going with Haunted Mansion.
You know what? I think I'm going to say People Mover. So there you go.
Oh, quasi producer Heather hates you now.
I'm going to say
People Mover only because it's because I love both attractions. I really, really do. People Mover also, the line moves so much faster. Like I can get on the People Mover and probably ride it twice in the span of sometimes that line of the Haunted Mansion. So I'll say People Mover. And now that sets us up with Country Bear Jamboree versus Dumbo. What's the best thing about the Magic Kingdom, Jenn?
Tough one. Actually, tough one. I do have childhood memories at both, so I can't even rely on that one. You know what? Just cause let's give it to the Country Bears.
Nice.
Just for no actual reason.
Just for funsies, for Sarah, I'm going to say Dumbo. I love both of these attractions, and I think they're both iconic to the Magic Kingdom. I think there's some things, some food, some attractions you think, you can see in all parks or whatever. Country Bears, Dumbo, both are such Magic Kingdom iconic statuses there in the park. So I'm going to say Dumbo, but I'm good either way. And of course, this is for the semifinals. This is for the final 4, which is crazy. But Sarah, Country Bears versus Dumbo.
I said it earlier. I really want Country Bears to win the whole shooting match here. So just for the sake of that, I'm going to advance Country Bears.
Yes, you will. That's awesome. That is fantastic.
Yes.
All right. So which one is better? Main Street USA or the very end of Main Street USA, that being Cinderella Castle?
Why did I know this was going to end up being a matchup?
I mean, it is what it is. And I feel bad for the next matchup we have coming because it's going to get walloped by whoever wins this one. It really is just, correct. It is what it is. But yeah. Jenn, Cinderella Castle versus Main Street USA.
It almost hurts. Like this almost hurts. Like I guess I got to go Castle.
I can't imagine either one.
I know. I literally can't. Like, I feel like it's like so tied together. It's such just both are so integral. But I feel like I will go with the Castle.
Sarah?
I'm going to go with Main Street USA. There's something really, there's an innocence there that feels very much part of the Disney experience, like traveling back to that yesteryear feeling. I don't know. There's an essence there that I just can't imagine not being part of Magic Kingdom.
Okay,
that's fair.
Go with that. I think I'm going to also say Main Street USA. Okay. Only because I'm imagining a conversation with somebody and that says, "Hey, what's the best thing about the Magic Kingdom?" And I can see myself saying Main Street USA, because I could say Cinderella Castle too, but Main Street, because there is so much to Main Street. Cinderella Castle's the icon. Everybody gets their pictures and then they move on. Whereas Main Street, you spend time there, you shop there, you get pictures there, you're up and down Main Street, you ride the trolleys down Main Street. I'm going to say Main Street USA, which brings us to the next matchup in this round, which of course almost doesn't matter, but Casey's Corner versus Be Our Guest Restaurant. I'm going to say Casey's, knowing this is as far as it's going to go. But I'm going to say Casey's just for funsies. Jen?
Be Our Guest.
Be Our Guest. Sarah?
I'm with Casey's for all the reasons we just talked about on Main Street. Like, that vibe is just it in Magic Kingdom.
I would love to see Casey's versus Country Bears. Best thing in the Magic Kingdom. But here we are. Here we are. Jen, this is for you. The People Mover versus the Country Bears Jamboree. Which one is the best thing about the Magic Kingdom?
All right. I got to go People Mover on this one. I got to go People Mover.
Sarah?
I'm going to go Country Bears just to make it interesting.
I'm going to say People Mover, and it kind of hurts because I kind of like the idea of Country Bears too. A little bit, but now I think I'm playing favorites more than anything else. But what else can you do? I'm going to say People Mover because it's just, I don't know, it's the People Mover. Country Bears, 15 years ago, where there was more stuff to the Country Bears, maybe I go that direction, but I'm going to say
that one hurt. That one hurt.
The People Mover when the lights are on in Space Mountain.
Yes, and
that is a pretty cool moment.
It's cool.
Yes. Now, have you guys ever done, I know, Jen, you have. Sarah, have you ever done Space Mountain with the lights on?
I've not. I've done Space Mountain during the Halloween party when all the lights are off. And that's also a very unique experience.
Also very dark, yes. But the lights are on. It's very weird because it's like...
I've never ridden.
It looks like just a big conglomeration of steel and metal, and that's it. And you're like, oh, well, I guess I can raise my hands because, there's nothing even close.
There's room. Yeah, there's room.
But then there are some parts you're like, oh, that looks way too close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. So that brings us to Main Street USA taking on Casey's Corner. Did anybody think Casey's Corner? Sarah, do you have a battle for that?
I'm thinking about this. I don't know. If I'm standing there with my corn dog nuggets and I'm listening to the guy play the piano, I'm pretty darn happy. I'm going to vote for Casey's Corner.
Interesting. I'm going to go Main Street USA. Jen?
I mean, I'm going Main Street USA because I don't eat corn dog nugs. So,
but they're so good. So that's a fault of your own there, Jen. But so Main Street USA, that brings us to our title match, our championship. What is the best thing about the Magic Kingdom, Jen? Is it the People Mover or is it Main Street USA? We've now determined.
We're all winners here. We're winners no matter which of these wins.
We're all magical winners here.
I've got to have Main Street. Yep. I mean, you can't, like, it's so iconic. You got to have Main Street.
Can I vote for Country Bear Jamboree?
I'll
vote for People Mover. I will vote for the People Mover. I think it's a great spot when your family needs an afternoon break to get on a moving bench and just chill for a little bit. You get views of the castle. You get a great view of Tron. I'm voting People Mover.
You know what? I think I'm going to go People Mover.
I'm not mad. I am not mad about this.
And you're absolutely right, especially on a hot afternoon or you're tired or whatever. Late at night, like you said, you can kind of do the twirl with your finger if it's not busy. There's rare times when it's not. They'll let you ride again. And it's so relaxing. And my wife, Steph, loves it when it gets stuck in the dark beside Space Mountain, because then she dozes. She'll be like, I'm just going to take a nap. And she does. And sometimes we'll be stuck for 10 minutes and she just snoozes out. I am not at all ashamed to say the best thing about Magic Kingdom, it's the people mover. It just is. It's great. Now, again, like Jen said earlier, ask me on a different day and I might tell you something different, but yeah, I go with that. I'm satisfied with that. Sarah, I know Country Bears aside, are you satisfied with that, with how it all turned out, or were you kind of hoping?
Absolutely. Yes. You
Jen?
can see the best of Magic Kingdom. You can see it all from the people mover.
Yeah.
Yes, and great photo moments. And I think for those that were there during the 17 years of the Tron construction, lots of pictures of before. Now you can take them, now pictures, which are kind of fun to compare, pictures of the castle and such. Jen, anything we missed or anything you're looking back going, I really wish this had gone farther, or?
I mean, I'm pretty happy. I think I'm pretty happy. I told you I'll ride people mover all day long. So I don't think we missed any big ones in there.
All right, so I'm going to throw one more thing out here because I realized there's one thing we left off that I did not type up, and that was Big Thunder Mountain. We didn't even discuss
I am
Big
a little
Thunder
surprised
Mountain.
that we didn't.
Yeah. So now I have to ask you, this is unofficial because People Mover is our winner, but Jen, People Mover or Big Thunder?
I'm still doing People Mover, but I do love Big Thunder. That might have thrown off a couple of other matches.
Sarah, would that change your vote there? Big Thunder versus People Mover?
It would not, but I'm with you, Jen. I do love Big Thunder.
Yeah.
I think that's the best coaster in Magic Kingdom for sure.
For sure.
Apologies to all the Thunder enthusiasts out there. I could only do so much typing into my phone at a red light, voicing in Barnstormer, ellipsis, Mermaid, ellipsis, Tiki Room, trying to get everything on my notes and stuff, but I'm satisfied. People Mover, best thing. Very good. Sarah, this has been fun. This has been a great little Magic Kingdom discussion. Had no idea it was going to end it like that. So yeah, you were definitely part of our little tournament bracket. Sarah, where can we find you now?
You need to make up tournament brackets and put it in the show notes so people can follow along.
They can
listening.
do it.
I will do that.
Good idea.
I will definitely do that. And we will definitely have to do this for other parks too, because I think that would be fun. We'll do the best about Gatorland and the best Legoland and Jen's the best fun spot. Jen's all in for that. So
the best of the all-star resorts.
All-star resorts. I mean, really, the end zone food court versus the whatever the music food court is. I can't remember. Is it the premier food court? That's
I don't know what you're talking about.
Movies.
Yeah, Jen doesn't know.
Is it what you're talking about?
It's something the end note or the final note at the I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. So Sarah, now I know you do have a podcast. I don't know that any episodes have come out lately. Is the podcast still going?
We've hit pause on the podcast for right now.
Okay.
But you can find me on Instagram at Sarah Goes Bananas. I'm hanging out there every day.
Yes, and I have to tell you, folks of Instagram, she has a great account. Definitely follow her. There's a lot of fun, a lot of videos, a lot of things I watch. I'm going, that's really good. Why did I think of doing that? That's awesome. So I have to give it about 3 or 4 weeks, and then I can copy it, and nobody will know it's the same thing because people have short memories on Instagram.
That's very kind of you.
We did just get back, of course, from Disney World. Jen, myself, Kyla, the Moana mom, Heather, and everybody else from our team. And we went to all kinds of adventures and had all kinds of fun. So definitely, you can follow us on all those places and see all the pictures and stuff. As I'm now starting to put everything online because I just haven't done it yet. But Jen, where can we find you online?
Find me at Upon a Star Jen, and my personal Instagram is at Jen_Novotny.
Perfect. Find me at The Magic on a Dollar on Instagram. Find me at Magic on a Dollar and Disney on a Dollar on Facebook. And I'd love to have you over there. Of course, Upon a Star Travels, where you can find us on all the places and all the stuffs and everything, and the MSC podcast as well on all places and stuff. Sarah, this was fun. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you got to hang out with us, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Perfect. All right, Jen, happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm sure that I will talk to you about 55 times between now and the actual Thanksgiving day, because that's what happens when you chat as much as we do. And Sarah, I'm sure that I will message you online and we'll chit chat randomly about something, because that's what happens as well. So for everybody else out there, happy Thanksgiving to the whole world from our podcast, and we hope to see you guys again. And don't forget to tell your Phoenicians happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.